Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is RaJae Johnson Sanders. He's a wide receiver, most recently out of Troy University. So nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Mr. Jimmy? How are you?
Doing okay, getting by. Well, RaJae, we connected and wanted to do this interview with you. I mean, really, what we got here is what I feel a good target as a wide receiver who was very effective this past season. But before we get talking about anything else, if you don't mind, kind of set the stage. Tell me where you're from and walk me through your journey a little bit.
Okay, so I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I attended Jennings High School. It's um it's in what people would consider as the poverty of St. Louis. It's like in the borderline of the good and the bad. So I was in the smack middle of that. Not too many people make it from that area, which is a lot of guys go through this story and stuff. And so I have an older brother. I have a older brother and a younger sister. My mom has three kids, and I'm the middle child. Unfortunately, my younger sister has passed when I was younger, and so it was just me and my mom growing up, and my brother grew up with his grandma, which is my godmother. And so my brother attended MIT, which was in Massachusetts, in Boston, and he got his degree in there in civil engineering, and now is working for a clever company, which he's managing, like the operational manager, district manager of that. And so pretty much is that I was not highly recruited coming out. I was a three-sport athlete. Um, I think early on I really didn't take school as serious, but as I got older and like as my journey went on, like I started to pick up my grades, but I think I did it a little too late. But so I ended up getting like small FCS offers, D2 offers and stuff like that. And so I was initially going to commit to either Millikan University, which is in Illinois, or Missouri Valley, which is 2 hours from my home, St. Louis, and then an hour from my aunties and the rest of my family. And my brother took it upon himself to reach out to me and tell me it was like my talents was a lot better than what I was outputting. And so I kind of was down on myself and was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the normal route of what any player would have did is just take the first offer that they got. But my brother gave me the suggestion of moving to California, which is the junior college route. So I applied to every junior college in California almost and got rejected nearly by everyone because typically out of state guys, it's hard for them to find housing and stuff like that as well. But Terry Butler, my recruiter from College of San Mateo, I emailed him, I DM'd him on Twitter. I was blowing up his phone practically, and he got back to me, and I got referred from Laney because where I was staying at the time, San Mateo was more valuable to me to get to and more accessible to get to for me at the time. So got there, Coach Larry Owens, Spencer Guilford, and Tim Tullock and Eric Washington, I would say Amari Green and Jason Hardy is the focal point, I would say, of who molded me into the receiver that I was there. Mainly, I would say Coach Eric Washington Jr., which is, if people don't know, that is the first cousin of Devontae Adams. So when I was in that mix, I was able to get some work with him in the time of like being a young buck
Nice.
and stuff like that. So my time in junior college was I really enjoyed that, and they taught me a lot. They molded me who I was supposed to be. I feel like it got me ready for the Division 1 level, and I feel that I can't forget about my high school coach, Coach Mark Harris, and Nigel Townsend as well. Them two and Mick Marion and Dante Owens. It's a lot, with those with the high school and stuff. But I so my sophomore year in junior college, well, my freshman year, I had 56 catches, 1358, and 14 touchdowns. And I became the number one recruit in my class and at my position. And then unfortunately my sophomore year, I took a I took an injury to my wrist and hand,
Mm.
which is a lot of coaches pulled back and, said they wanted to see how I would recover. And the doctor that told me basically a doctor told me that I wouldn't be able to play football no more, and I kind of just started working. And so I got a call from Brian Vincent, and who I love dearly, gave me an opportunity to come to UAB. I never heard nothing about UAB. He was the only that was my first offer actually, and that was the one that stuck out. And so I made that decision and went in out of shape, just for not being able to play and stuff like that. I was still able to work out a little bit, but not the shape that I should have went in at. But went in my first year, had Austin Watkins, Myron Mitchell, Kendall Parham, a great group of guys. Austin Watkins, Myron Mitchell, I still talk to this day because they play for the Birmingham Stallions right now in the USFL. And I feel that like me and Austin have a similar game, and like he has a lot, like he's a speed guy. He's a big speed guy, and I feel that on my side I was a speed guy that can play inside and out, and I can play running back a little bit. And I think that's what eventually started the show at my time at UAB, because my whole time at UAB I was the screen and the sweep guy and in between. And so that was the first stop with that. And then I knew that I can bring more to the field. And I made the decision to go into the portal before our bowl game against BYU, just off me just feeling that I feel that I can bring more to the table to someone and have someone value me for my assets to the game. And so my former tight end coach, which was my first year at UAB, because I ended up going into the tight end room to try to make myself more versatile, to try to get the ball. And so Coach Joe Craddock, which is my OC at Troy, who I love that man dearly, and his family as well. They took me in, took me out of a dark spot, and told me that he had something in store for me when I entered the portal. But I couldn't figure out what it was, but I took my visits to the Sun Belt schools because of the Sun Belt Conference. I was initially going to commit to Georgia Southern, and right before I committed, I got a bunch of texts, even from my brother and my family, that Coach Craddock has accepted the OC job at Troy. And so I get a call from Coach Craddock. He calls me about 3 times, and I ain't pick up. I already knew that he was at Troy, but I ain't pick up the phone. So by the time I picked up the phone, he answered and was like, "It should be no decision. I have control. I have control of what you've been looking for." And so I already knew off the relationship that me and him had and the person that he was, that I was going to go there. And I met Coach Summerall before he took the job at UK, when he was at Troy before. And I knew the energy that he had, but I actually got to sit down and meet with him and meet his family and stuff, the energy that he bring. And like my time in Troy, and then the people in Troy, like my coach Gary Banks, like Coach Banks, I would say taught me a lot as a receiver, because Coach Banks played in the NFL for the Chargers for 2 years, so he had insights on that. And like right now to this day, like I meet with him tomorrow. Like I meet with him 2 times a week to break down my film and just to see the corrections that I can make, and which is what I've been working on and improving on. And the whole time here, and now I'm in Denver, Colorado right now, training with Nick Vision right now with Elite Speed, getting ready for the Pro Day March 21st. And yeah.
Okay, so completely brought up to speed. Appreciate that. Again, just to recap, St. Louis guy, moving up through the ranks, went the JUCO route, ended up also taking a turn to UAB, and then ultimately there with Troy, which I think he really had a solid season this past year, going over 700 yards receiving. And like I said before, man, when we first started this interview, one of the things that I feel like you truly bring to the table is size. Interestingly enough, I mean, like you said, I mean, you actually sat in the tight end room, which is interesting. So, dude, I gotta ask you, what's your height and weight these days, man? What am I supposed to call you, a receiver or a tight end?
I'm an athlete, I would say. I would say is that if you look at each of my stops, right, at my junior college level, it shows me high pointing the ball, me just going over the top of people, just scoring touchdowns. I get the UAB, I almost initially as a running back. like I'm getting used for the sweeps, I'm getting used for the screens, and then I get to Troy, I'm actually able to run routes. And so I would say I would consider myself as an all around
Yeah,
player.
but how big are you? Big are you, man?
Right now, oh,
That's just
I'm 6'4", and I'm right now I'm weighing at 210.
210. Well, that's more like a wide receiver. So
Wide
that
receiver.
so right now, obviously that's what you're pegged at, but like you said, I mean, you have played a lot of different things, and depending on what a coach is going to ask you to do, maybe you could bulk up a little bit, play like a move tight end kind of role if need be. And I know you're a very you were a stud running back in high school, man. And I know that there were times, throughout your career where you were used very well in that way. So, very interesting path for you. I mean, I talked to a lot of guys about the JUCO route, and I mean, let's just face it, it's a tough thing. I mean, you go out to somewhere where you're not very familiar, and you got to make it on your own, and it's a hell of a grind. So,
Yes, sir.
talk about your JUCO, time and how it helped mold you into the person that you are today.
Okay, so like you said, junior college is not easy, but if I can tell someone, like, if you have the option to go junior college, if you feel that you want to go the junior college route to prove that you should be getting looked at more, I would say do that. And I think my junior college route was easy because I had my brother. I had a support system there. His wife now, which was his former fiance Bria Wallace Banner now, and his friends Savvy Asparago and Chris Spann, and then Cosmo Kufa. Those, like, that group right there, like, without them, I think my junior college career would have been downhill because I left 3 days after graduation. So I walked across the stage in Jennings, Missouri, uh, May 26th, and I left the 29th. And I was practically stuck in California from May to December. So being from my area, it was very culture shocking and very diverse when I got to California. And I wasn't used to that. And so I got there, they helped me adjust, and then my teammates, I didn't know none of my teammates yet until I actually was able to do the freshman camp. So I met my teammates, which is I still talk to these guys every day. Like, we got group chats and stuff. Elijah Harper, he's entering the draft right now. I know you know Makai Blackman. He was on my team as well too. Um, Line Latu, Miles Kendricks, Oppie Main, very, very. Why do you want to know his last name? I don't know how to say his last name. But that's how we say his last name because it's an island thing. Um, who else? Dion White, Jaleel Lecky, Jelani Brown, like all those guys. When I first got there, they took me out to eat because they knew I wasn't from there, and they was like, "Yeah, this is California." They took me to where they was from, so I was all over my first like 3 months when I actually got to meet my teammates. Like, I was in San Jose, I was in Sacramento, I was in Stockton. Like, these guys were showing me the culture of California, and I embraced it, and they embraced me. And I think without those guys, I think my junior college career was great. Honestly, they made my time worthwhile. What was there, and then if I have to do it again, I definitely do it with this group of guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, having a good support system certainly helps. It helps you get through a lot of different things in life, and certainly, when you go out in some place where you're not familiar, it definitely helps. You had mentioned also going through an injury, but dude, it didn't really set you back. You didn't waver because of that. I mean, you stuck it out, and worked yourself to a point where ultimately you found your way. Actually to UAB, where you really started to grow even further. Obviously, at that point being a Division I athlete. Talk about your time at UAB.
Okay, so I came in at UAB from my previous injury my sophomore year. So I came in a bit heavy. I was about 240. I got big. So I got placed a little bit in the tight room. Then I slimmed down as the season went on. But as my first year of D1, my stepfather, which is why I got Johnson Sanders, which is a lot of people don't know, his name was Terrence Sanders. So that was not my biological father, but he helped raise me since I was like 2 years old. So I consider that as my father as well. But he passed. And so I ended up sitting out for half of the season because I was like, he ended up passing like the last 3 games. And then I traveled to our bowl game that following year. Well, that same year. And then the next year, that's when I started to get a little bit of a role, but we still had Austin Watkins Jr., which is Sammy Watkins' little
Right.
cousin, and then Myron Mitchell as well on the outside, and then Trey Shropshire that's entering the draft this year as well. We had them group of guys in there as well, so it was kind of I wouldn't say it wasn't a hard battle. I just would say is that we really didn't have that much of a rotation because we're a run heavy team, and so
Right. I
therefore
remember.
like so therefore we were a run heavy team, and so we really didn't really get to exploit all of our weapons. I feel that UAB had and still has to this day. And UAB is I graduated from UAB. I will always be a Blazer, and I will never talk down on them. Like Coach Clark has done a lot for me and given me an opportunity to come to be a Blazer. And the city of Birmingham welcomed me with open arms, and the people that I met through over my course at UAB, as you said, like support system, helped me get through there because my 2 roommates I played against in the national championship from Fullerton, Rob Johnson and the other one name was Marcus Grossman. And so it was kind of a heated battle, like moving in because like that still hurt me to this day, of losing on a punt return, which is the worst way to lose a championship game at all in all games at all. And my last year, Coach Smith was like, I have a real chance to be special. And he tried to work his magic with me, and like he knew, like I told him that like eventually that I was going to transfer to like to further my opportunity to get the ball more because we're a predominantly run heavy team, and he supported me. He gave coaches my numbers. Coaches reached out. He helped me through the process as well, and I'll be forever grateful for him for that too. And him and his family welcomed me, and a lot of people wanted to see me with the ball a lot more in UAB, and I didn't buy into the outside stuff of telling like trying to go talk to the coach and like demand the ball and stuff like that. And I just asked him just what can I do to help the team win? And so majority of my time there, I was special teams, and then I grew into the sweep role, and then after that, I left.
Well, I mean, I think that you still like you said, I mean, you were able to be a part of a team effort. And obviously you got out there, you did special teams. I mean, you took care of business there, and whenever they called upon you to go out there, I mean, yeah, like you said, predominantly run team. Dude, over the past couple seasons, had a lot of good running backs that have come through there with some excellent years. And
Yeah,
you got
Dwayne
other guys.
McBride.
So
Oh my gosh, he's a
Mc,
dog.
McBride was good a couple of years back. I think what's his name? Spencer.
Spencer Brown.
Spencer
He's on
came out.
he's on
Um,
the Panthers right now.
yes, I mean, there's a lot of guys obviously there, and then of course, like you said, I mean, dude, it's just nice to be able to get fed the ball a little bit, and not necessarily a bad thing, but I mean, you took the your opportunity, and you transferred to Troy. Not too far away, but still in the same sort of vicinity there. Talk about your time at Troy, if you don't mind, and maybe some of your best moments there.
Um, I would say is that I recently just posted my highlight. You can see in one of them highlights when my teammates are huddling around me. I think my best moment was winning the championship at Troy because not only I did it for my teammates, but I finally felt I felt appreciated by someone and by my teammates and by my team, I should say, and that I contributed in an actual championship game. And so I kind of got emotional in the end zone, and they told me it was like, yeah, this is what you've been working on. Like this is your time, and pretty much my best moments is being with my teammates, honestly, because the whole course of my time being there, it was nothing but team bonding since day one until the time that I left. And actually, we still in group messages right now, and I can't wait to see my brothers when I get back.
Nice. So, RaJae, obviously sounds like you really wrapped up your career, very well. I mean, certainly not ideal, but you got to a point where, dude, you had an excellent moment there. Winning out the way that you want. And just having a good memory there, for your time at Troy, as really a good receiver and one of their top targets. So, um, let's take a moment, just for some people who may not know you, to talk about football for just a couple minutes, and
Okay.
tell me something about you that's not football related, whether it be your hobbies, interests, or anything else that you got going on in your life, man. Just give me a little something to tell some people.
Okay. So I'm gonna narrow it down. Right now, so after pro day, which is March 21st, I'm going back home to St. Louis to my alma mater, my high school, Jennings High School, and I'm gonna be a walking counselor for the month of April to help out with our football team, and because they don't have a football coach right now, they're in between coaches, and so I'm gonna give them the college regiment of this is what a college schedule looks like, and this is what a college workout is, and just work out with the football team and some of my hobbies, man, I love to bowl. I love bowling, Like me and my brother is very competitive. My brother has his own ball. And so like right now, like since I'm in training, I go bowl probably like 3 times a week. And so I really enjoy bowling and listening to music and stuff. And outside of that, just being with my family and then my close friends. I have the same group of friends since high school that support me and stuff. And then my two little brothers that's on my media team of getting myself into the media aspect of this and make YouTube channels and stuff like that. And so just trying to work all that stuff and all of that into one, and yeah.
Cool. So, what's your bowling average?
Right now it's about 150. It's decent. My brother is like 190 right now. So I got a long way to go. So but I told him if I get my own ball, I would beat him because I made a group of friends out here in Denver, Colorado, real good friends that loves the bowl. And and they let me use their ball all the time. And like I have so much control with a personal ball compared to a house ball. And so all of this is to lead up to beat my brother, honestly, because I have yet to beat him in bowling, but I can beat him in everything else because I done got taller than him and I'm a lot more athletic than him. So he got me in bowling and like the strategical games, the consistency games. And I'm just trying to be consistent in everything I do. So, and I think bowling helps with that.
It's funny you talk about having a brother that you're very competitive with. Definitely understand that. I'm a middle brother myself, so
Okay.
that can be a challenge at times. But like you said, I mean, you've kind of surpassed your brother in some ways. That being of your physical stature, you're a lot bigger, which I think sometimes
I'm
helps.
just
So,
I'm
uh,
taller. My brother, he was a D lineman. My brother was a
oh,
D lineman when he
all right,
played,
all right.
but I got him on height though.
All right. Well, at least you got them on something, man. That sounds good. And then you said you like your music. So bro, when you're maybe out there like in your groove, whether you're in the weight room or on the field practicing or something, what's going on in your head, man? You got a particular like song or like artist or something that you like to listen to?
Is I listen to everything. Like when I tell people everything, like if I'm like before the game though, I'm gonna give you before the game. Before the game, I listen to R&B. I listen to R&B. I listen to either R&B or I listen to Outkast. Outkast, I listen to Andre 3000 or Big Crit or Shy Glizzy. But Big Crit or Outkast or R&B is my playlist before the game because why am I going to the game? Like I understand football is an angry game, but I want to go out there calm and I want to be able to do my job. But halftime, that's when I go crazy and listen to all the crazy music of just pumping my blood. So
Well, it just kind of sounds fun, but it's all good. Uh, bro, I think a lot of people when they think of St. Louis, they think of their cooking. Tell me like your favorite
Ooh.
home cooked meal.
From my mom's or just a tradition of St. Louis?
I'm gonna put that on you to make that decision.
Okay,
Give me something.
from the tradition of St. Louis, if you ever go to St. Louis, Jim, you got to get Chinese food. And I don't know where you're from, but I promise you, you will never eat your Chinese food ever again. I'm 100% right now with people coming to try St. Louis Chinese food, and they right now I have yet to have a person say our Chinese food is nasty. But if I'm going home, I'm going to go get a happy box, a special happy box, and then I'm gonna put gravy on top of it. So it's a fried egg with shrimp, onion, and peppers on top of your rice, and we don't put peas in the rice. It's just onions and egg, shrimp, and meat. That's it.
Well, I will leave that up to you because it sounds like it's more you than me, but that's fair. I appreciate you sharing a little bit about that. I mean, let's go ahead and work towards wrapping things up. I mean, like you said, you're out in Denver preparing for your pro day here soon. Um, what are you expecting to do at your pro day? What are you trying to showcase to scouts? Are there certain numbers that you're trying to obtain? Can you give me a little bit on that?
Um, right now, anything under a 4.6, that's my goal. They want to see speed right now, and that's been the biggest focal point on that. And just getting um, everyone knows that I can catch the ball. I was number one in the country, and so they just like from what I've been hearing is that they just want to see separation and speed. No more so the strength part because I didn't show the strength part on the field, and that's not something they have to worry about. They just want to see that I'm able to separate from defenders, and that's what I've been working on, which is that's something I think I mastered since I've been here. So I feel that I'm going to have a very good pro day. I'm going to turn a lot of heads, and I think this is my coming out party.
Great. Well, RaJae, I want you to close us out and talk to all those scouts out there, and tell them why they sleeping on you, man, and why they need to bring you in their team and make you part of their franchise. So go ahead and close us out with your pitch.
Um, you know, as I'm a 6'4", I'm a big body receiver, but not only am I a receiver, I'm a running back. I don't got the comparisons to Cordell Patterson and Debo Samuel, and then of course on the outside of me just playing receiver, Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson, big body guys, physical guys, and I just feel as if I had the same opportunities that these guys got in Power Fives and stuff like that, my name would be up there, but it's not more so about that. It's about the work. And if someone takes the chance on me, they're not going to regret it. And whoever picks me, whoever gives me the chance, they're going to get 110% because I love the game. I love what I do. And I love what I can bring to the team. And I love the atmosphere on and off the field. And I feel that I'm a great person on and off the field as well. So
Awesome. Well, RaJae, definitely feel like you do bring a lot of great versatility to the game, like we've already mentioned, and some good size. And uh, there should be a team out there that would have interest in a player like you. So I do wish you very best of luck in this process. All right.
yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jim.
Sure, no problem. Once again, RaJae Johnson Sanders. He's a wide receiver out of Troy. Check him out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.